This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
So on the show today, normally it's Matt.
Yes.
Matt Bijou. But today we have his partner in crime, Mike.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, Matt sets the bar really, really high, so I'm going to try to be as fun as Matt.
Okay, yeah, he's a goofball. Love that guy. But so we were talking before we hit go, and you. How does this even work, Mike? You're in a relationship.
I am. Yep.
And you're not engaged.
Nope.
But you have an engagement date.
Well, I'm a planner. This is the thing. So I have the date because I'm trying to coordinate with some friends of mine that I know are photographers so that we can have like professional pictures and video taken at the same time. And I needed to get on their schedule. And so this was a date that I feel like is far enough out that I will be able to get everything done. Okay. So it's not like you and your girlfriend have picked this date. No. So
she doesn't know.
No.
Got it. Okay. I was like laughing. I thought you would both come to an agreement on the day you were going to propose.
No. She has no idea. I'm hoping it stays that way, obviously, because I don't have a ring or anything yet. So I still have a lot that I need to get to. But yeah, I want it to be a surprise.
Have you guys gone ring shopping together?
No. She has shown me some rings in general that she kind of likes.
Yeah.
Which is great. And I've shown her some rings that I'm kind of interested in as well, but we've not gone ring shopping. I have without her. I've been scrolling on different companies' websites looking for stuff.
So, man, people, there are some guys out there who just buy the ring and they're like, here you go. I just could not do that.
No.
It was not me at all. So I was like, Valerie, here's what I was thinking. What were you thinking? She showed me what she was thinking. Then we went out and...
I've heard some people do like... I have a friend who he's like, I got accidentally engaged. And I was like, let's
hear about that.
Yeah.
I can hear accidentally pregnant, but like accidentally engaged. Let's hear that.
Exactly. So I guess he was out in San Francisco with his girlfriend and she's like, let's just look at rings. And when they went in, all of a sudden there's a down payment on a ring and she's walking out and he's like, so I guess that I'm engaged. I guess this is...
She just picked it out.
She just picked it out.
It wasn't like a discovery session. It was like, nope, we're doing this.
And so he was accidentally engaged, but he said for his current wife, that was an ex-girlfriend. He's like, she just wouldn't go away. We did that. And then like we broke up and then we were back together. It's like, but for my current wife, I had to give back the engagement ring that I got from my previous.
Because she didn't like it?
Well, so no, it was from the previous ex.
Oh, he was trying to recycle.
He's like, I'm going to take it in. And then he got her a really cheap kind of a ring to propose with. And then like, now let's go pick the ring that's going to be our ring.
Yeah.
And so that's something else that I've heard people do. But I feel like there should be some element of creativity of what it is that you're getting. Like get an idea of what your girlfriend likes. For example, I know that my girlfriend, her big thing is she wants an engagement ring with a wedding band that kind of, she calls it cuddles with that. So it goes around the diamond or whatever. It's like, cool, I can figure this out from there and look at different ones. But she's like, I don't know how I want the diamond cut. I was like, I feel like that's not true. I don't know a single girl in the world that has not thought about how they want their diamond cut.
A square? Do I want yeah.
But anyways, it's been a fun experience kind of looking through different things. And I know that we have a mutual friend that she's shared stuff with. So it's like, okay, got to get with the friend and we'll go ring shopping and do that.
Valerie picked out the metal type. In all fairness, I would say I found it. And then I just was like, hey, do you like this? And she was like, I could tell by her reaction that it was perfect. And then I just picked the diamond size.
Anything from you would have been perfect, Johnny.
That's true. That's true. Yep, I couldn't. It could have been a piece of duct tape wrapped around. Yeah. But anyways, what this has to do with real estate is she has a house, you have a house.
Correct.
What to do now? Does it make sense to turn one of the houses into an investment? Or sell it? That's kind of what you were asking me.
Yeah, because that's a big thing. Like I bought my house 12 years ago. I have the lower interest rate. We owe less on it, but we're going to live in her house because it's a new build. It's just nicer. She has solar, so I love that we can have the air conditioner on. I don't do the AC at my house very much because I'm cheap. But yeah, looking forward and planning.
You're saving for a ring, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rings are expensive.
They are.
But looking at that, what are the better options for that? Is it just renting it out or just selling it and taking the equity from my house and using that to pay down her loan on her house? Because I don't even know like the tax implications of that. Like, do you have to pay
capital gains.
That's the one.
Yeah. So let's take this a piece at a time. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to figure out what your house would rent for and compare that against what your monthly costs are. So if you have landscape front and backyard, I would recommend you pay to have a landscaper.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Continue to do that. Wouldn't expect the tenants to do that. How much is a property manager going to cost? There are people out there that'll do it for a low flat fee. There are people that do it for a percentage of the rents. And so figure out what all those numbers look like, and does it make sense for you to, is there enough there for you to have at least some cash flow and then cover also reserves? So like they're going to move out. You know, I was talking with a guy and he said that he had this rental property. The tenants lived in it for 25 years. They raised a family there.
Wow.
And then one of the kids went off to school, became a doctor, and then approached him, the landlord, and said, hey, I'd like to buy this house for my parents. And so he ended up selling them the house that they've been living in for 25 years. That's a rare situation.
Yeah.
Normally they're going to be moving out every year, every couple of years, and so you got to factor in what are your expenses while the unit is vacant. What's it going to cost to flip the unit? You know, paint, carpet, any updates.
Oh, in between people.
Yeah, and just build that all out. A good property manager can help you with that. But then once you have a budget, make sure they're realistic on rent. Don't stretch it. You know, don't say, oh, in a perfect world I can get this much, and then you end up getting less, and then your budget's blown.
Yeah.
So make sure they're realistic on budget, and doesn't make sense. So for Valerie and I, we sold all of our properties when we moved up here. At the time, it made perfect sense. But now that, you know, our legs are underneath us, the business is more stable, we wish we still had those.
Yeah.
Everybody that I talked to who has ever owned a property wishes they would have hung on to it. So that's my take. If the numbers are there, even if it's just a few $100 a month, like you're not like getting rich, my personal take would be keep it as an investment property and let the tenants pay that one off, and then focus. Now you have two incomes, pay down, you know, the house you're living in.
So you mentioned the property manager. What are the benefits of having a property manager versus just doing it on your own, especially because it's just one house as opposed to, you know, multiple properties?
Yeah. So again, I can only really, like, I always just lean back on my own experience. And you don't know what you don't know. Do you have good contractors? Can they get out there quickly? Do you know the laws regarding being a landlord and having a tenant? Do you know how to evict somebody quickly if it comes to that? How are you going to fill the vacancy? How are you going to screen the tenant? There's all these different steps that come into play. Yes, technically you might make some more money if you do it yourself, if you DIY it, but you also might lose more money because you don't know what you don't know. You know, if you had been doing this for a while, so Valerie and I, we started out with a property management company, and then because we were in a town that had one, and then we moved to another town. We hired the local property management company. We actually filled the vacancy on one of our units before they could even be bothered to put a sign in the yard.
Wow.
And they were the only game in town. So it's not like we did a bunch of interviews and picked a dud. They were the only option at that time. And so then we fell into managing it ourselves. And one of the units, it was a triplex. We lived in one of the units, shared a wall with our tenants.
Okay.
Right? And it just makes it a little bit more complicated. You're walking in to open up your door and they're standing right there, you know.
Hey, landlord, I need this.
Hey, landlord, I need this. Or it's like, hey, tenant, pay me my rent. Personally, I would never manage my own units. What if you're on vacation? Like it's just you're wanting to finally unplug from work, and then all of a sudden there's an issue with the unit. Like without fail, we were hosting Thanksgiving one time. While we were hosting Thanksgiving, family had come from out of town. In fact, looking back, it was the only time the family ever visited us in Coalinga. And we had to put everything on pause because I can't remember if it was the water heater or the toilet. Something was going down with the unit next door, right? I couldn't just call a property manager and have them handle it. So that's as far as property management goes. And then you also mentioned taxes.
Yeah, like if I were to sell my house, take the equity and make a big payment towards my future wife's house when we're the one that we're living in together.
As far as the taxes go on that, depends on how you're filing your taxes. When would you be selling the house, I guess is the question. Would you be selling it before or after you guys are married?
We won't move in until we are married, so I'd be living in my house till we were married. And so it'd be after we were married and then selling it.
Okay. So the reason why I ask is if you are filing single, you can claim up to $250,000. And if it's been your residence too, disclaimer, I'm not a CPA, check with your tax professional. This is my understanding as a real estate agent, what the rules are. But if you are single it's been your primary residence 2 out of the last 5 years, you can claim up to $250,000 in profit, not purchase price, but in profit on the property, and not have to pay those long-term capital gains tax.
So just simple math, $250,000 in equity on a $500,000 sale, then theoretically I should be able to keep, there's not the capital gains tax on that.
Correct, because you also have to factor in your expenses, right? There's title, escrow, realtor fees, any concessions that come up during that process. And if you're married filing jointly, you can claim up to $500,000 in profit.
So there you go. So if you have more equity, wait until you're married and then.
Exactly. That's why I was asking. I wasn't sure what the timeline was. But again, it costs roughly 8 to 12% of the purchase price, 8 to 10% of the purchase price just to sell a house. Like if you go to sell a car or buy a car, you're like, okay, this is the cost of the car. Then all of a sudden you have all these different fees that, the state layers on and that the dealer or whoever layers on. And you're like, oh, I wasn't counting on those, right?
They always get you with the taxes and fees.
They always get you. And same thing with selling a house, right? And so you always got to factor in about 8 to 10% of whatever the purchase price is going to be is how much you're going to have to shave off in that sale.
Okay.
So again, using your $500,000 purchase price example, just imagine $50,000 going towards fees. So that's how it would work. So, I mean, what you're asking is normal. Most people have to kind of walk through this process, and that's something that we help people with. So oftentimes people who are buying another home, and selling their home want to buy another home. And so they have to walk through, do I keep this as a rental? Can I do a buy before I sell? What does that look like? And so we'll sit people down, create a custom game plan specific to them. Just say, here are your different options. I literally sat down with somebody the other night and said, hey, here are your different options. One of them is a cash out refi. They're going through a divorce. And so one of them, like a very reasonable option, is not even using my services. Like I'm not getting paid if he does a cash out refi, but I know a great lender that can help you with that and that can get it done quickly.
Yeah.
He was interested in speed. And so that's what we do. So whether or not we're going to make a dime on the process, we like to sit people down and make sure that they understand all their options so they can pick the best one for them. So if you want to learn more about your options, if you want to have a sit down with us, just go to madeformorerealty.com, madeformorerealty.com, and we'd be happy to help.
So you may believe you have the nicest, best, most pristine, attractive home in the entire neighborhood. As soon as you put that for sale sign in the yard, offers are just going to be pouring in. People are going to be busting through your door to give you an offer on your home. But then it goes live, and what happened? No offers. It's crickets. Well, that's because it matters who you work with. Like, for instance, I have someone in my neighborhood, their home has been on the market for at least 3 months, and it's still sitting there without any offers. Again, it matters who you work with. That's why Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty, why they've been so successful with so many of our listeners, why they were voted #1 team in Roseville for 3 years in a row, why they've got over 1,000 5-star Google reviews. Go check them out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. The proof is in the reviews. And so if you're interested in how Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty can help you sell your home fast and for the most amount possible, just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Find out how you can get at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. Again, just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.